What's up, guys? This is Simon. In this video, we're going to talk about the best ways to redeem your American Express points and miles and what I do for my miles and points, which I have accumulated in millions of miles and points over my history with American Express and some of the other credit cards. As you may know, I also have a business in regards to miles and points and travel, which is called flightslux.com. You could check that out. But in this video, we're going to go ahead and just talk about how to really utilize, or what is the best way to utilize or redeem your miles and points so that you don't lose their value, which is hard earned by your spending. So before I get into this video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. It's free, folks. Do it now. And I appreciate it. Let's get into this video so I could give you my best ways of using all those points and miles right now. You may have seen some of my other American Express videos. I've done reviews on the American Express Platinum, Centurion, some of the other cards out there, such as the JP Morgan Reserve, which is dubbed the $10 million credit card. So I've done them all. In fact, Chase Sapphire, which is, I guess, the lower card that's comparable to that card, or the Sapphire Reserve, I should say. I've done a review on that. So I've done quite a few exchanges on these credit cards and earned so many points. In fact, I've had credit card bills that have been into the 80, 90,000 range, almost 100,000 on 1 month bill for my business. And in fact, at one point I had a credit card bill for personal that was nearly $80,000 some years ago, which was pretty high for me. So what do I do with these points and miles? And in fact, right now I have over 1 million points or miles sitting in my account, in one of them, in my business accounts as well, over 1 million. And typically what I like to do is determine which is the best value to use your points and miles. Now, the best value to ever redeem your points and miles is actually for travel and not for purchases. So if you are asked to link, say, your American Express points to Amazon, for example, and you start paying things with your points on Amazon, you're thinking you're getting a great value, or you're thinking that you're saving money by using your points. You're actually not. You are selling those points at a lesser value than they are actually worth. My advice is to use points and miles on travel. There are so many great travel programs out there. And in this video, we're going to particularly talk about American Express points. If there are other points programs that you would like me to discuss, please comment below and let me know. And as always, add into this video by sharing your experience or comment and letting me know what you use your points for as well. So there are 3 major airline alliances that you could use your American Express points for. The first one is the SkyTeam. Then there's the Star Alliance, which is probably one of the biggest ones, and One World. With SkyTeam, you got Delta, Air France, Aeromexico, Korean, and there are over 1,000 routes in 170 countries. Star Alliance has over 26 airline members, so it's probably the biggest. And those members include United, Lufthansa, Thai Airways, and others. United being one of the biggest airlines in the world. That's a major alliance to be part of. And what's great is you could transfer points in between these alliances or book on one airline and get the reward points from the other alliances. And One World has Cathay Pacific, British Airways, Qantas. If you're flying to, say, Saudi Arabia or Dubai, etc., Qantas is really nice. So those 3 major alliances often give you a discounted rate, or a saver rate is what we call it. So instead of, let's say, your airline requiring you to book for 75,000 miles one way on a business or first class flight, you would go ahead and book that possibly for about 45,000, 50,000 miles instead, giving you a savings of nearly 30 or 40% at times. And that's when you want to take advantage of these miles and saver rewards. Those airline business class tickets are going to cost you thousands of dollars if you look them up on Google or online. However, if you use websites such as Expert Flyer, Award Hacker, and others. It'll give you an idea of where you can buy your airline ticket with miles and points at the very lowest fare using one of these alliances. So for example, you may want to fly on British Airways, or you may want to use your BA points, but you're able to book a flight through BA on Cathay Pacific, because what it will do is it will show their points on that airline through the program that you're searching. Or another example is you may want to use Aeroplan, which is Air Canada, and they have a program where you could transfer your American Express points. And once you do that, you could book United Airlines flights, Lufthansa, and some of the other airline flights as well. Keep in mind, I'm not going too detailed in these airline travels, but if you want something specific on a particular airline, I do happen to have a business that deals with this, and you could check this out on my channel, my $10 million company, where we would provide some of the best airfare tickets to clients. The link is in the description, and it's one of the things that I do. YouTube is just a hobby. So with Lufthansa, for example, we were talking about, Lufthansa actually has, so with Lufthansa, for example, it may not be the best deal because they have an extremely high surcharge. However, it's one of the most luxurious travel programs out there. My most favorite points program to transfer my miles to from American Express to whichever program, it just depends on where I am traveling. Typically, I'll use Aeroplan for domestic, or I'll use Delta, even though it's not the best rewards program. However, I will also use KrisFlyer. Now, Singapore Airlines, or KrisFlyer, is part of the Star Alliance group, but they just offer such a great point-to-point transfer program and so many opportunities to fly to so many locations. KrisFlyer actually has a Singapore Airlines A380 suites when you are flying international, and you could get such a deal by transferring your points to these programs. Of course, you book your vacation around this, but this gives you the best value and the most comfortable travel experience. Singapore flies from New York mostly on the A380 to London, to Sydney, Paris, Tokyo, and a lot of other places. One tip I'll give you guys, and the tip that we use as well to help our clients when booking these type of flights, is you want to also potentially know the biggest hubs. So depending on where you are trying to land, you need to find where the hub is, say in the United States for that airline, then fly out of there on the long leg using your business class or first class flight. Now, if you're interested in getting a quote for travel, check out flightslux.com. It's the new website that I have going on for travel. One cool thing is you could book Lufthansa with KrisFlyer miles as well. So this is a bonus. But remember, there's that surcharge. You could also use American Express points to fly to Dubai in the Middle East by booking Emirates, which is, I heard, one of the most luxurious first class experiences with unlimited caviar. It gets no better than that experience in terms of flying first class, something I want to do in the future. So here's to sum it up. American Express points are great to earn. You could maybe even sell those points, which goes against the card member agreement. But overall, you definitely want to take advantage on travel with American Express points. And do not do it sadly, through the American Express travel team, because they will hardly find you the best airline travel deal. There are websites that I'll mention that I check frequently to get the best possible deal for travel through points. That includes unlimitedpoints.com, thepointsguy.com. There are some others like thriftytraveler.com, and there are so many points programs out there that you really are kind of opening a can of worms when you dig into these. So my advice is stick to what your credit card transfers to. Use potentially one of these apps or programs that will say, hey, if you're going from SFO to London, this is the cheapest points program that will transfer, and these are the credit cards that will transfer to it, and that will help things a lot easier. Also, look at hubs. So for example, it may be cheaper to get a JFK to London flight on first class and more availability, than, for example, a Dallas, Texas to London flight or the same type of destination. So you may want to buy a cheap economy leg to get to the hub that you're going to be flying out of for your first class experience to save a load of money. Never spend your American Express points on Amazon or on anything that you buy. Yes, you could sell back your points to American Express, which is probably a good option. I would do that versus selling them to a broker. But if you really want to enjoy that fruitful benefit, you really need to take advantage and start traveling with things opening up today. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a like, subscribe to the channel. It's free, folks. And comment below if you want me to review any particular airline or discuss further into any of these alliances, what I feel in regards to some of these travel experiences. I've traveled around the world to many locations and mostly in business and first class using my points, and that's why I love the American Express points program, but the Chase Sapphire Reserve program is just as good in some regards as well. So catch you guys here in the next video. And I appreciate you watching. Thank you.